Welcome back. You're watching Politics Today live on Channels Television, and we're broadcasting from Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. Well, the topic for today, the president's absence and the challenge of leadership. Well, joining us in our Abuja studio to discuss the constitutional, legal and general perspectives concerning the president's absence, the issues of leadership, and of course the role of the vice president, is a senior advocate of Nigeria, Chief Paul Ananaba. Ananaba, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
Well, the president did transmit a letter to the National Assembly about his absence, and the vice president coordinating the affairs of the nation while he is away. Well, that word coordinating became an issue of controversy in the upper house. Now, would like to know, what does the Constitution say about the president's absence and the vice president's role in an event of that happening?
Thank you, my brother. You will recall that this is not the first time the president has been away. And since he's away at this time and ongoing, he transmitted a letter with the Constitution Section 145 required. I think there shouldn't have been so much problems about it. I go back to say that the president in the letter said, in compliance with Section 145. Once that phrase, in compliance with Section 145, is there, it means that everything the letter writes about is about compliance with that section of the Constitution. Now, I am not opposed to those who raise the issue as to the word coordinating. But the president did not say, the letter did not expressly say, oh, he is going to be a coordinating vice president. He said he will coordinate the affairs of governance. Of course, people are likely to interpret it in different ways. Now, once the president's letter said he is writing in compliance with Section 145, what it means is that the Constitution has been invoked and the Constitution takes precedence over everything. Now, for the argument as to why the letter not saying the president shall act in my absence, which is act as an acting president, that is the question I hear people raise. But I want to say that legal minds will understand that in interpreting that letter, the likely correct construction and interpretation of that letter will be that the letter should be read with such formal verbal alteration as to make that letter applicable. So there shouldn't be a situation where it is said that the letter should be returned back to the president, because it has grave constitutional consequences, because we will not have a serious constitution like that. And I want to say that it is heard that we are discussing these issues because to the extent that subsequent letters from not only the president but even governors and other political players and leaders in this country, they will begin to know that the content of the letters or communication or correspondence of leadership will be given strict construction by a wide variety of Nigerians. To that extent, that has been helpful. But strictly speaking, I don't think it should be such a very serious problem because of the presence of the phrase in compliance with Section 145 of the Constitution. So the president was purely within the Constitution. But since Section 145 of the Constitution has kicked in, what it means is that the vice president automatically becomes the acting president.
Well,
and that's what it is.
Absolutely. Well, actually, the Senate president did rule Senator Ohwabunwa out of order, saying that indeed the president acted.
I don't want to go into Senate rules.
Absolutely. That's not an issue we'll be looking into for today. You did mention, Mr. Ananaba, that the president has been absent before now. I mean, before this happened, the president has been absent before now, and he did transmit a letter to the National Assembly invoking the same constitution. Yes. But then, what would be bothering the minds of many Nigerians would be that, I mean, aside from the issue of semantics, what then is the difference between the president's departure for medical reasons this time around and the first time when he was away? Is there any difference in the circumstances that would actually lead to this sort of controversy even beginning to rear its head?
Now, this time the president is a lot more forthcoming by saying, I am not telling you when I am going to come back. So the circumstance of the previous letter may not arise why Nigerians became so worried, because the president's absence was more or less timed in the previous letter. But this time he's saying, I will return subject to the
advice of the doctors,
medical advice I will get. So as it is, Nigerians are, are now sure that, I mean, it is the medical advice that the president gets that will determine when he will come back. So nobody's going to say, oh, he will come back in 1 week or in 2 weeks. All that is required now is for the vice president, who is now the acting president, to ensure that, just as the president said, that the business of governance is well coordinated and that the country is run properly. That is why our constitution allows for a vice president who will become an acting president in circumstances like this. I think that the acting president did well the last time, and Nigerians were largely satisfied. I have no doubt in my mind that he will do extremely well, even at now that he knows that all eyes are on him, and all the burden of leadership now and mantle of leadership falls on him. And having been a thoroughbred legal practitioner,
now, Mr. Ananaba,
areas of life,
I'd like to ask: is it that Nigerians have become more sensitive about this issue, having learned a thing or two about what happened when former President Umaru Yar'Adua was away for the same medical reasons, and the drama that played out, about whether the vice president became the acting president? Do you think this situation is that sensitive because of the lessons of the past that we've learned?
Yes, it is sensitive, even though we are discussing it in a mild manner. It is sensitive because it has to do with the highest level of leadership in the country. Now, in Yar'Adua's time, you knew that no letter was transmitted, and there was what ruled so much was speculation. We now learned from that, and we have made progress to the point that the president now transmits letters. Now, we have also seen that not only transmitting letters now, the wording of the letters will be very much of concern to Nigerians. So we are making progress steadily, and that is the essence of democratic setup. So I'm impressed that we are making progress. So now that you could see now that we are not looking at the last letter, the president gave a timing, and that led to a lot of anxiety. But now,
all right, Mr. Ananaba, I think the point has been made. I mean, thanks a lot for the legal and the constitutional contributions made on that issue on politics today, and thanks for your presence as well. Well, that's our guest for today, Paul Anaba, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Well, thanks for staying with us for the show. I'm Charles Eruka. Same time tomorrow, Politics Today on Channels Television.